Good morning, welcome back. Thank you again for joining me. I'd like to invite you on another journey, and this journey involves you taking some action. Now, I hope in these recordings I don't actually tell you what to do. Like I said, they are invites, and more than anything, it's just like thought-provoking. They're like a seed. Now, often a lot of my clients have been through some incredible experiences. I'm going to use some labels now, just so that you can understand my communications. And a lot of these are really bad, destructive, negative, parasitic, very painful situations that they've been through. But what's interesting is that let's label it the shittiest. I hope you don't mind me using that term. The shittiest experiences that they've had. If you imagine outside, and we're farmers, and you want to grow something beautiful and you want to grow something well, and what you need to do is to find the shittiest, the dirtiest of dirt, put it together, and you plant and sow the seed, and then something beautiful grows from it. Well, think about your past experiences. The more shittier, the more painful, the worse they've been. The good news is they're all in the past. We can let them go once we condition this to do so, if we are required to. However, if you imagine you put all that shit together, something beautiful is going to grow from it. Have you ever thought of it that way? Now, my invite actually isn't down that path. My invite is for you to turn off your television and to perhaps go a week or two without reading a newspaper. What do you think that'll do to the quality of your life? What do you think that'll do to your day? Not to read a newspaper, or not to turn on news, 24/7 and find out who's killing who and who's banging who and all the rest of it. I mean, to me, I don't have a television in my home, and I don't read newspapers. Now, from one point of view, you say, oh, well, you remain ignorant, Magnus. My question, is that true? Because I am on a lot of professional websites, and I get to hear about GMO foods, I get to hear about health. You know what I do? Just like my iPod, I fill this with information I want to fill it with. Now, if it's true, according to Dr. Deepak Chopra, we think between 61 and 68,000 thoughts a day. Here's my question. How many of them are positive? Think about it. If 10%. Now, where are we getting all this negative, this 90% negative information? I mean, the sun is shining today. But I've just been down to the bank, and there was somebody there who was sharing some negative information about the weather. Instead of them focusing on the now, they're focusing, oh, but it's been really bad, and it is a little bit cold out there. And I find that interesting. And it's just because the way they're programmed themselves to feel that way. So my invite to you is, if you manage to turn off your television or to stop reading your newspapers and start filling this, because obviously you're going to create a void in your life. It needs filling with something. What are you going to do? I mean, I can't remember what the exact figures are, but it's certainly in the region of between 2 and 4 hours a day I've spent watching television for children and adults. And I'm thinking, wow, that's an incredible... If I had that amount of time, I know how I would fill it. I'd be reading more books. But that's my choice. My invite to you is to find what could you do with your time so that you could further your knowledge, or gain more wisdom. I mean, knowledge isn't power unless it's applied to the greater good. I'm sure we'll agree on that. But what could you do with that time, rather than just switching off into the alpha state of brainwave and just watching somebody else's reality? It doesn't have to become yours, but think about it. If you watch soap operas over and over and over again, that's why I see people behaving like that outside. They'll complain about this, they'll have fighting matches and bitching matches with people, and that's what goes on soap operas. But no, it also goes on outside. I just find it funny. I know it's part of my ego that's engaged when I laugh at things like that. But my invite to you is, if you want to become that change you want to see in the world, you've got to make some distinctions. Because what I want people to do is to start marketing, to start advertising to themselves, instead of filling their heads with crap from other media sources which is controlled by the elite. I mean, the lies that are promulgated in the news that you don't even know about, from GMO foods to sugar and all the stuff that's on my website. And one of the things you can do, obviously, I mean, voting in a way is a joke, but one voting way you can that isn't a joke is where you put your pounds or your dollars, where you spend your money. I mean, that's exciting because you could actually go down and get to know your local farmer, and you could shop locally, and you could buy things that within probably a 5-mile radius of where you live. Now, obviously, if you're in the States, maybe slightly further than that. Sure, you need to make some distinctions, but you'll reap the benefits to it and ultimately become that change that you want to see in the world. So the invite, if you want to, is to turn off your televisions. By all means, use the internet and get some information from there. But as I said, I haven't had a television for years. Seriously, I don't feel like I'm missing out or losing out. I don't pay my TV license because I don't have one. It's controlled by the elite. They'll tell you what they want to hear on the news and you get shocked by it and everything. I mean, read Power versus Force by Hawkins. I mean, the amount of weak moments that you have just watching a half-an-hour soap opera. I mean, just imagine watching the news. You're like, I mean, some of you get desensitized to it because you're so used to hearing who's killing who, what we're doing in Afghanistan, etc., etc. But just, if you didn't watch television or you didn't read newspapers for a week, how would you feel? What would that do to the day, you know, to the value of your life? Find out. I don't know. I know what it's done for me. But you find out what it does for you. And if you want, by all means, go onto YouTube and type out, well, this is what my day feels. I feel like, you know, I'm missing out. Well, absolutely. I can understand that because it's a form of addiction. Is it serving you, though? Only you know. So that's my invite. And on top of that, find something beautiful today, something that you've perhaps never seen before. I'm often asking myself that question. What is before me that I cannot see? And sometimes, whoa, and this is how bizarre it's been, right? I remember once I've been driving along this road, the A591, coming out of Kendal, and I'd never seen this mountain. I kid you, I think somebody must have just built it. And I've been driving for years past that road and I'd never seen this mountain. Yeah, I'm blind. Obviously I had been until I'd seen that, and it was beautiful. And the reason that I noticed it was because the sun was at that latitude where it was just shining on it, and it just seemed to this orange glow, and I was like, whoa. Anyway, you find out. And have a fantastic day. My love to you all. Bye for now.